What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Icing the Puck with myself and Zane. Zane, how are you today, first and foremost?
Doing fantastic.
Let's
Doing
go, dude.
fantastic.
Let's go. Love to hear it. All right, as always, if you like the content, give us a like and subscribe for more. But as we were just kind of briefly discussing before pressing record here, first thing I want to start us off with on the episode today is that the Sharks need to kiss. Zane,
Yeah.
famously as a
Yeah.
Sharks fan, I would love to know what you think about the Sharks needing to kiss.
Well, I mean, it's like keep it simple and structured. I believe is what I think. I think that last S is structured. Obviously, it's keep it simple, stupid. But they can't. Stupid is that's aggressive for an NHL broadcast. Um, to just every game because as I was telling you, like it's almost every game that this is one of the like keys to victory or whatever that the local broadcasts give.
Hmm.
Um, and they love the joke. They just keep it simple. But I mean, it makes sense. The team's mostly young, so you want to build fundamentals and like you had a young coach, young players. Keep it simple. It makes sense, and I do think it's pretty important for the team. And it's just funny because the team is the jokes about Will Mack and all these other things. So I mean, it's just I don't know. I think there's always been a bit of whimsy in the NBC Sports California broadcast. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. There's always been a little bit of whimsy.
That is
Randy
pretty
Hahn's
true.
great. Drew Amenda is kind of unhinged, and I think that adds to the whimsy. And Randy Hahn's a legend, certified
Hmm.
legend.
Yeah, I'll vouch. Honestly, I watch a decent amount of Sharks games because you're a fan mostly, but also fun to watch. Let's not discount that. But
Yeah.
all right, I've got follow up questions for you if I may. Well, this one's not a question,
Sure.
more of a statement. But Will Smith famously scratched, was it recently? That earlier in this season for quote unquote taking it too far or getting a little carried away in the
Oh,
showers.
in the
How
locker
much,
room,
how
yeah,
much
he got
kissing,
like.
if any, do you think was involved in that incident?
I mean,
And or did you
that one.
do you think it inspired it because he was not being so simple in the showers?
I have. I honestly don't really want to speak much about that. I'm really not sure what all that means, in terms of like he took a joke too far. That's great. Like I have never heard of that. Not recently from like a team that's like, yeah, we like suspended a player because a little rowdy
Yeah, dude.
in the locker room. So yeah, I don't know. Like that's the vibes must be mega high.
Yeah.
Um, if somebody's feeling themselves enough to be like,
Hopefully, at
whoa,
least.
okay, hey, yo.
I when I saw it, dude, I was worried that maybe like the vibes might get thrown off by whatever
Yeah,
that means, you know. But so far,
yeah.
honestly, if
I mean,
anything,
they've ripping, yeah,
I
like I
was
said,
gonna
5-0
say,
and 1 in the last
yeah,
6 games. They've been ripping off against valid competition.
yeah,
Avalanche, Seattle, which I know like we describe them as not very good. They have proven to be good.
yeah. I took the L on that
Um,
one last episode. I'll probably continue to for the rest of the season.
oh yeah. Beat them, beat the Avalanche. They went back to back too with the Jets. I think they beat the Jets too, back to back. Avalanche, Jets, those two W's all around. Bringing it back to a couple years around two or fewer in a lot of these games. The step up from both Nedeljkovic and Askarov have been pretty good. I mean, they're started the season letting up a lot of goals, so their save percentages, I believe, both are sub nine, or at least Askarov's is still sub nine. I don't know 100% if. And I could definitely look that up if Nedeljkovic is still sub nine, but both of them have been way more consistent. Both, like I said, allowing like one goal, and both of them allowing like one goal in their last couple of games or two or fewer.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, I
Um,
mean, I it's been really good.
for the record, I just pulled it up real quick. I happen to have like the standings page up, so I filtered it to the Sharks. Ned
Yeah,
906, Askarov 891. On the season.
yeah,
On the season.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, Nedeljkovic being over nine is pretty impressive for the like I think letting up 7 goals in that first game.
He's sub 3 goals
So
against average too, Ned.
Yeah, and that's so yeah, both taking a step up, and like I said,
Hmm.
Askarov is as well. So both of them, I think, just getting comfortable, which was good. I was a little nervous the way both of them started the season.
Yes, luckily they have. Uh, the kissing is paying off for them. I would
Yes, as
genuinely.
Big Sean would say, they bounce back. You know.
They bounce back, 100%, dude. Oh, real quick, just because I think inquiring minds would like to know this, even if they don't know that they want to know it. When I was investigating the Will Smith controversy, I'll call it, even though it wasn't really a controversy, I stumbled across, I think it was a Reddit post, referring to Dylan Strome doing something very out of line, allegedly, in the Washington Capitals locker room, which must have been in the last
Mm,
few seasons, obviously. And I won't
yeah.
say entirely, but that boy apparently had a male oriented toy, if you will. Yes, erotic toy in the shower. And, I'll let the mind wander from there for anybody listening. But yeah, apparently that happened in Washington, and that blew my mind, dude. Blew my
That's
mind.
crazy. Well, you also have Thornton, I
Making all
think,
kinds of
for
things.
the uninitiated, that's another shark story where somebody is talking about whipping out, to
Their
scoring four
phallus,
goals
dude.
and
Yeah.
whipping out their Johnson. So,
Yeah,
um,
lots of phallic things happening in this game.
yeah, crazy. But yeah, so I
We
mean,
love
a
that
lot
here.
of, yeah, yeah, Listen, I love that. That's what I'm saying. The Sharks have always been whimsical. That was not that long ago. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that whole story started from him just wanting to distract the media away from Hurdle after Hurdle scored like four goals in his
Debut,
in that
right?
game that he scored four goals in.
Yeah, I think it was his debut. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, yeah. Sharks are kissing. It's working. Shout out to Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini for beginning the kissing. Not actually, but
Yes.
go Sharks. Let's go Sharks.
Go Sharks.
Similar though, less memes, more serious. The Sharks are relate to the one thing that I want to spend a lot of time talking about, as much as we end up with, I guess. But the the youth, it's taking over the
Yeah.
league, brother. The NHL is being overrun by children. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, like the main contributors here, I guess. You got Leo Carlson, Bedard, and Celebrini currently
Yep.
back to back from 2 to 3, or 2 to 4, I should say, in
Yeah.
league leaders for points. Carlson and Bedard sitting at 25 and Celebrini at 24 as we speak. Sharks are currently playing. Ducks play later tonight, I think, so that is subject to change. But anywho, um, incredible stuff, dude. Literally two
Yeah.
20-year-olds and a 19-year-old
In the
surpassing
top
Connor
score.
McDavid at this point in the
Yeah.
season, only behind McKinnon. Like, what do you make of that? What comes to mind, I
And
guess, for you?
honestly, not that long ago, it was Celebrini and Bedard at the top two spots,
Mm-hmm.
and that was not that long ago. So I
Yeah.
would just say that that's there's it feels like not finally. I think that's dramatic, but there's like a changing of the guard a little bit because it has
Mm-hmm.
been obviously you've had the McDavid's, and the McKinnon, and before them, the Ovechkins and the Crosbys, and then the McDavid's, the Dry, and then it feels like this is like that new wave, right? You have,
Mm-hmm.
Carlson, like we were talking about, Leo Carlson, Bedard, Celebrini, not all from the same draft class, but all kind of all kind of catching at the same time, all
Yeah.
kind of like realizing at the same time. So, I don't know. I think what it tells me is the game's changing a little bit too. Like the style of the game is changing a little bit. Um, just because I think it lends itself to speed more than a lot of other stuff, like
Sure.
speed and finesse a little bit more than the not that McDavid and Draisaitl are more gritty, but Draisaitl's kind of a more grittier, I would say. Obviously, lots of skill, but still a heavier type player.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Um, but yeah, because I wouldn't call Carlson Bedard or Celebrini a heavier type of player. I mean, probably Celebrini closer, but still not quite that same style.
Yeah,
Um,
Carlson, I think, has a little bit of like jam to him as well. He's a bigger body than Bedard, at least.
yeah.
Bedard's definitely like small compared to a lot of people, but definitely those two guys. Um, but yeah, for sure.
And I would
Honestly,
also include Schaefer into this as
yeah,
well. You know, Schaefer's playing crazy. Uh, for as you said last time, somebody who like didn't really play a lot last year. Um, so I mean, it's exciting. I mean, like a lot of defensemen too. I would even Ziev, Nikishin's not playing too bad over there. I mean, it's just I think you're seeing it. Also, I think it kind of started. I mean, maybe this is me getting off track. Kind of started with like the misfit Vegas Golden Knights. I think teams are willing to like throw players in to see if they work rather than like keep on to them for so long and like
sure.
because I think you had that time where like you didn't know what you had and so you just kind of there was less chance taking. I think there's more chance. There's more like
Yeah.
throwing it out and seeing what you got. There's more chance taking. I think it kind of started there, but I think that's what this is coming from as well. Just a lot more chance taking, a lot more just throwing players out there, being like, it's either gonna work or it's not.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point. I think I mean, in all honesty, it probably like kind of started, I guess, with McDavid like breaking into the NHL even in his rookie season, despite getting
Yeah,
injured, but then having 100 points in his sophomore season, like that
yeah,
raises an eyebrow first and foremost. But to your point, like we didn't see a whole lot of people being thrown into the NHL and succeeding at such a young age, at least.
yeah,
And yeah, I think to your point afterwards, like you see the Golden Knights like completely unconventionally make the playoffs, and I mean almost win the Stanley Cup for that matter in their first season. That has to be part of the
yeah.
mindset shift, if you will. So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I do think too. I saw a clip of Ryan Reeves doing an interview on Spit and Chicklets, I think, but he was talking about how like the young guys, and he's currently on the Sharks, right? I'm not hallucinating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So he's probably referring literally to Macklin when he was saying this, but they skate differently. They're taught to skate much differently than people were in, kind of Ryan Reeves' generation. He
yeah.
was talking about how long, heavy strides are what you wanted to do, like power skating, and now it's a lot more like on the toes, a lot more crossovers, a lot more like I guess finesse, honestly, but like jittery
Yeah.
short movements, which I think we didn't call out here, but Lane Hudson, shout out our boy, our favorite player, Montreal.
Yes. Yeah.
Also third among defensemen in scoring. And for the record, I know you called out Schaefer, but he's 10th technically, but I think he's tied for 7th is actually. Um,
Yeah. Yep.
so yeah. Anyway, just to point out a couple, or to add context to Schaefer and point out Lane Hudson as well as another young guy. But yeah, anyway, I think like I said, Ryan Reeves was talking about how they genuinely skate differently, and I think that contributes here too. I think that's just a more successful way
Yeah.
to move around the ice, So very interesting stuff. And I think too, I know like I was catching a lot of heat talking about Lane Hudson before the season started, but
Yeah.
one of the things that I was trying to say is like he plays in a way that people hadn't quite seen yet, and people adapt to that. And I'm not necessarily making that argument here about the young guys in general, but I do think like there's a certain amount of adaptation that has to happen from people when guys are coming in and skate differently, as it were, and they bring however
Yeah.
many other different things along with that. So
Well, especially yeah,
yeah,
you got to learn that they skate differently because like they're
hmm
beating you, and you're like, how are they beating me? It's not immediate. Like, oh, they're skating differently. Like, yeah, it's something you got to figure out as well.
yeah, yeah. I know we were watching a little bit of the Sharks game right before this, and I said that Barclay Goodrow literally just got walked by. It was Zeev Buyam who walked by him, and Zeev
Yeah.
literally just opened his legs up, turned to the side, and just went right on by Barclay Goodrow with his back to Barclay. Didn't gain any speed or anything. He just did the weirdest little move, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
noted gritty guy, veteran in the league, Barclay Goodrow. To your
yeah.
point again, not keeping up there. So yeah, it's interesting, man. Tomahawks, they're taking over skating in general. So many different things,
Yeah.
but yeah, very exciting time to watch hockey. And moreover, I think I was saying last week, Ducks are like top 5 to watch in my opinion.
Yeah.
As of this very moment, Ducks, Sharks, and Blackhawks. definitely three of the most entertaining teams to
Catching the
watch.
views. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, insane, honestly. Um, but yeah, league's being overtaken by youth. It's crazy. It's exciting.
It is good though. I think it's good for the league. I think it's good for the league.
Hmm. Yep. And I don't think they're making a lot of this actually on like the mainstream like media. As I put my tinfoil hat on, but like the national broadcasts, I don't see them talking about it a lot. But I know like on Twitter at least, I see a lot of dialogue around like Macklin and Bedard kind of fighting for Olympic spots
Yeah.
on Team Canada, and I think that's like there's got to be some truth to that. Like right
Yeah,
now, it
for
would be
sure.
insane if neither of them were on the Canadian team, honestly. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know how much that's being talked about on a national level again, but if you know, you know, and it is interesting to see these two guys like duking it out
I think they were talking about it
at this point.
during the intermission,
Yeah,
in the first intermission of the Sharks Wild game
yeah,
on ESPN Plus. They had mentioned it. Yeah, they
yeah,
were talking about it a little bit.
yeah. So interesting storyline, honestly, and like probably
Yeah, I
worth.
mean, I
Go
don't
ahead, sorry.
know. I don't know if they both can't make it. Like, I guess I don't know, if, like 100%. I
I
think
think
like
I think anything's still on the table. Like rosters aren't locked in, right?
yeah, nothing's locked.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious. I'd be curious to know who gets left off. I mean, obviously, like two things, right? Like you were saying, like definitely helps, like that there is that extra motivation. Like I
Hmm.
think they would be playing well regardless, but there is an extra motivation to play to want get your first Olympic
Yeah.
appearance in a couple months. That's like super soon. So yeah, I find it hard to believe that that's like the only thing, but definitely as a factor to push them maybe a little further to like have them prove themselves. Like
Hmm.
Bedard is playing in out of his mind currently, so I mean,
Yeah. That
they're
guy's
all playing out of their mind, but Bedard is
that,
especially.
that boy is
Um,
going ballistic.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I love it, and I love that there's just excitement in the league again. There's so much change right now and excitement in the league. So
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. All right. Outside of the youth, let's take a little tour around the league. Honestly, I think I would just really quickly like to shout out the Ducks. Didn't know it until today, but they are atop the Pacific Division, dude. Atop of
yeah,
it. Um,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't get that. I would love to just take a victory lap and say like I saw this coming, and I to some degree did, honestly. Like I had them in the playoffs, but so far, dude, we're only 15 games in for the Ducks, but like they look unbelievable. No, like genuinely unbelievable.
yeah. I mean, they look pretty proud. Like I mean, they look great. They look great. I mean,
Yeah,
they're powerhousing through teams. They've won 7 in a row. They're 9-1 in their last 10. Like they're unbelievable. Whether they continue it, I'm still like very much a hater.
sure.
Um, I'd be silly to be like, yeah, this is just there. This is definitely like they've got the talent. They're playing. They're popping off. Like doesn't seem like anything is like finicky or anomalous about it,
Hmm.
right? Like there's nothing that you can point to and be like, well, that's kind of like that's an aberration or that's
Sure.
at least nothing I can point out. Everybody's playing. People who are, were expected to take a leap are taking a leap. Seneca is playing well. He was supposed to, he was a good, that's a high, high role.
Hmm.
So I don't know. They're playing really well. I think they're good. I'd be lying if I said I'm not a hater, but you were not wrong about the coach fit and everything like that. Kreider, the fit, all of that.
Yeah, I do think I agree with that point. I think I hit that on. I think that they're doing, and this is like textbook Joel Quenneville to be fair, but they play a very repeatable style of hockey right now. I think day in
Yeah.
and day out, and like worth shouting out too. You referred to this when you were talking about Cutter as the breakout candidate for the Ducks.
Yeah.
Was really really good at 5-on-5 last year and had like kind of an anomalously low success rate, both with shooting percentage and I think some other metrics I forget off the top of my head. But
Yeah.
uh, again, you called it out. It just like it seemed like even if he maintained the same like degree of play that he
Yeah.
had last year, pucks should be going in the net more. And I mean, right now it's just
It's working.
yeah, exactly. He's like neck and neck for the league lead in goals on a nightly basis. So that's insane. Shout out to the Ducks for being insane, but
So we can
also
both be right about this. We can both be right about the breakout
so
player and
far
the
we
team
are. That's what I'm
itself. Yeah,
saying. Yes,
exactly.
we
Yeah.
were reading the tea leaves. Honestly, we each had one half of it, but anywho, what else? Who else might I want to call out? Edmonton Oilers, actually, if I may. What the hell's going on with the Oilers? Do you have any idea? No,
I feel like it's kind of the same thing that it always is.
the last 2 years, yeah.
Goalie is inconsistent.
Yep.
And the defense has always been like that bottom two, right? That bottom two defense has always kind of been, a little, and like I think, and maybe I'm wrong in this. I haven't watched a ton of Oilers, but it feels like Matthias has taken a step back.
Ekholm.
Ekholm.
The offense hasn't really been there, that's for sure. He's not, known for his offense, to be fair, but
Yeah.
that is certainly the case. So,
Um, I mean they've started to score as of late. Like
mhm.
they've started to score a little bit more. And the usual suspects have started to pick it up a little bit more, but still, I mean, every year they have these problems, and not that I think it'll last. I mean, last year, what they were god awful. Everybody they were bottom of the league.
Mhm.
So I don't. I kind of am waiting for that to happen. The other shoe to drop when they rattle off like 15 wins in a row.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. It's like the typical issues, and yeah, I just Oscar, Isaac. Sorry, Oscar.
Isaac Howard.
Isaac
Ike.
Howard.
Yep.
Ike. He's kind of
Meh at best.
yeah, kind of just not. It's not clear. It's not what It's not been like mind blowing or anything like that.
Mhm.
Hyman's still injured, right? Like
Yep.
Hyman's not playing.
Yeah, he should be coming back soon, but has
Yeah,
not
so I
yet.
expect the offense to probably take a little bit of a jump. They get back to start firing on a little bit of better cylinders with him in the lineup.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, otherwise it's classic early season for them. I still think that they'll probably end up at the top
Yeah. I
of the
think
Pacific.
don't have too much to back this up, other than just like watching interviews. But Zach Hyman seems like an underrated kind of glue guy too, underrated locker
Yeah,
room guy. I think he is the chief vibes operator there. In all
yeah,
honesty,
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I think or officer, I should say. Pardon me, but anyway, chief vibes officer. But yeah, outside of that, probably worth noting, Leon Draisaitl only 18 points this year, which
Weird.
not terrible,
Yeah.
obviously. I believe that's 18 points in
Yeah, but he should be like
like
double
16
point per
games.
game pace at this point. He should be at
Yeah.
like 35, 30,
Well,
30
exactly. Yeah, I was
points,
gonna say
somewhere around
like
there.
McDavid hasn't really looked in form either. To your point, but he's still at 24 points in I think it's 17 for both of them actually. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, a little bit of slowness there. But I think to your
Sluggish.
point again, yeah, I think that has been the trend for the last 2 years. Not quite to this degree, maybe, but so early still, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think definitely the last 2 years, and I think I saw somebody post a screenshot of an Oilers game yesterday or 2 days ago,
Yeah.
of both McDavid and Draisaitl heads down on the bench, completely just hating life, and they
Vibes
pointed out
out.
that
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, but they pointed out there's just a trend at this point of this happening with McDavid and Draisaitl on the bench, and then the Oilers just turn it around. So yeah, might just be that might be upon us pretty soon here, but I wanted to say regarding the goalies, Skinner 884 save percentage right now. Calvin Pickard 836, really bad. And to be clear too, I think you can't put that all on the goalies here.
No, I mean that's obvious. Yeah, there's a defensive structure that's not working
Yeah,
uh there. Like there's no way you have that. But like that means you're taking a lot of high danger scoring chances, I would
yeah,
imagine, if your save percentage is that low.
That's bad.
Probably letting a lot of softies too. Not gonna lie, like let's not put it all, but
For sure.
yeah, for sure. Like a defensive structure mixed with these goalies are just average too. You know
At
that doesn't
best.
help. Like
Yeah.
you can't put goalies that are the where Skinners and the Pickards are and expect them to save a button and expect them to constantly be getting led to can't expect that.
Hmm.
Not with those types of goalies.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is fair. Hopefully, Edmonton turns it around here. In my opinion, I don't imagine that you share that
Skinner
opinion.
goes on a run sometimes too.
I was, oh
To
yeah,
be
when
honest,
you were saying that, I said they were average at best, and then I went like, maybe I shouldn't say that because to your point there, Skinner does go nuclear every now and then, especially on a single game basis. He has some insane games sometimes.
because
So
part of the inconsistency is the fact that he does do that. He goes
yeah,
crazy, and then he's then he's back to like not knowing how to play goalie.
yep, yep. But again, hopefully, in my opinion, hopefully the Oilers can right the ship as they have been one to do over the last couple seasons. But we'll move on from them. A team that I think we were both pretty correct about at the before season start here. Montreal Canadiens, dude. Did you know they sit atop the Atlantic Division currently?
I knew that they were up there. I didn't know that they were the up there, And
Yeah.
honestly, them and the Bruins.
I
We
was
could
gonna
talk about
say,
them
did you
both.
know
Since
who's in second? Because
yeah,
we should
because
talk about
a
them next.
little bit wrong. We might get this whole division wrong. Um, Eastern Conference hockey is hard to predict sometimes. It's really good. Um, but no, I mean the Atlantic was always going to be pretty good, and the fact that like who would have thought that Barkov was going to miss so much
Yeah.
time at the start of this year, and they kind of again these teams all do like it's so early, so like these are not predictors for like the entire season, but the Bruins are playing really well. Looks like, Swayman's finding form again. He's had a whole seats. That's just good. Yeah, we were right about the Canadians. They're just good. Marty St. Louis, great coach.
Yep.
Um, Senators are doing pretty well. That's like I watch them and they don't look very good, but here they are with 20 points, third in the Atlantic.
Yep.
No, I don't know what to say about the Senators, to be honest with
I
you.
think
Uh,
honestly, like I think the thing to talk about with the Senators, it's not necessarily their place in the standings. 'Cause I think we both thought that they would end up in the playoffs by season's end anyway. But the fact that they're
yeah,
doing this without Brady Kachuk right now, I think that bears mentioning for sure. I think,
yeah, I think that bodes well. I think
yeah,
that bodes really well for them.
yeah, and like I don't watch a lot of Senators games, so any Sens fans in the comments don't, come at me per se. But I have Tim Stutz on my fantasy team. Not that that's really an indicator of play, but he definitely has stepped it up from a fantasy perspective since Brady Kachuk went out. And I wonder if there's anything to be made about like maybe separating Stutzla and Kachuk more than the Senators have previously. Once he's back and having like two kind of a twin-headed
Okay.
dragon type of situation there instead of just putting the two of them together on the same line. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not Travis
yeah.
Green. That's not my decision to make, but
Drake Batherson has also been playing
that's true.
insane,
Yeah, that's true.
out of his mind. Like that guy. Every time I see the Sens scores in my goal notifications, it's Drake
Yeah.
Batherson. Drake
Yep.
Batherson every freaking time. Um, so yeah, no, I think they've been like I said. I watch them and I'm like okay. Um, but then again, when I watched the last time I watched them, they played the Bruins. I think the Bruins kind of beat up on them a little bit.
Hmm.
Got revenge for when the Senators beat them like 7-1 in the game before. So it's just been kind of chaotic. So it's like hard to buy into what.
Yeah.
But I think, like I said, I think the Canadians are legit. I don't know if the Bruins are legit or not,
But
but
yeah, I was gonna come back to them. What do you want to say about the Bruins?
I don't know if they're legit, but the way Swayman is playing, Marco Sturm's got him playing. Like I don't, Geeky is playing crazy. Pasternak is playing to Pasternak's level.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. Like they look legit to me. As much as I'm like, I have to defend my position. I'm not going to entrench myself in that. I'm just going to say my breakout is even wrong. So, like when we're talking about reading the tea leaves,
Do
this
you have
one,
Mason Lorai for this team?
yeah, no, yeah.
Not
Listen,
yet.
we're talking
There's still
about.
time. Not yet.
Yeah, no, that's so true, and it is still early. But right now, it's all looking bad for my
Mm,
Bruins prediction, and that is what it is. We'll see them again. There's it's still early, but they do look. I have to admit, they do look legit right now. They look really
yeah.
good. And like they're getting play from everyone, which is not normal from them.
Hmm.
Like Kuznetsov, I think is playing pretty well.
Yeah. He was
I
centering.
think we were talking about that a little bit. How he's like very much feels like a Bruin. He fits right
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. As soon as that
Um,
trade happened, I that was my like reaction. That's a Bruins player for sure. They would end up loving him. And I was saying, I think that he at least was centering Pasternak's line for a little bit. I don't know if that's like the line that they're
yeah.
running per se, but yeah, just moved his way on up
Yeah.
there.
So I think they are legit. The Sens, like I said, I think they're gonna end up. I don't think they'll end up anywhere like super high. I think they'll be
Hmm.
wild card or third position. Especially like you said, they have Brady. I think they'll be right where they are. But yeah, no, that's the team I like. I'm gonna talk about any team.
Yeah.
Bruins very much surprised, and they just look good. They just look. They like I watch them, and they just like they're scoring at
Hmm.
a kind of a crazy pace. So
Nuts, dude. Hard to believe. Again. All right, last team. Not a whole lot to say here. We talked about them last week. Penguins, though, third in the Metro, still sitting in a playoff position.
yeah.
Just Sid's undeniable. Gino's kind of undeniable still.
Yeah, little bit of a fall off, little bit of a fall off
Yeah,
since we last talked about them. Little
yeah,
bit
they're
of a
not
fall off.
not white hot like they were for sure. But
No, still, like I said, still a little bit undeniable. I think they
yeah.
might be might this might feel like they're coming back to earth, but again, it's still
Hmm.
early to tell. I don't want to predict that and have them to win 10 in a row. I don't want to say much. This Eastern Conference has got me looking real silly,
It has
currently.
most
So.
people in the hockey world looking silly. To be fair, Bruins and Penguins. Uh, I don't think anybody and the Islanders I'll throw in here too because they're just outside of a wild card spot at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, but none of them are at the bottom of the conference or the league, and most people thought that they all would be. So yeah,
It's
that
good.
said, Maple Leafs still suck. Still really bad.
And they're still getting owned by the Bruins. That has not
Yeah,
changed. Marner or not, they still get owned by the Bruins. It was not
yeah,
Marner that was causing them to get owned by the Bruins. They were getting owned by the Bruins.
yeah. No, I for the Leafs, I would really love if we have any Leaf fans. I think we do. We definitely have
Yeah, what is the
a Leaf fan
major
or two.
problem?
Yeah, what are
What
you
is the
guys
major
seeing that's going wrong with Toronto right now?
what
Because
is the major problem? Because like it's hard to identify to be honest.
yeah, yeah, it's that one is a little bit of a head
They're
scratcher,
literally
honestly.
5-5 in their last 10. So like what
Hmm.
is it?
Yeah,
What is it? Lost
yeah.
3 in a row, which isn't great. Got to be honest. We need to work
No,
on that.
no,
But
but yeah, weird one, man. Honestly, them and the Panthers, they're right next to each other in the standings. Panthers makes a little bit more sense with the adversity.
those teams too that like win back to like they've stopped caring about the regular season. They've
Yep,
stopped caring.
yeah, I still believe that. It's similar to Edmonton, I guess, in that way, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not thinking that the Panthers are gonna miss the playoffs after all said and
No.
done, but yeah, dude, weird one. Weird one. Speaking of weird teams too, actually, the Rangers. Zane, any opinions on the Rangers? They won their first home game of the season. I pardon me, I should say they have their first home win of the season. Their first game at home was not a win, but they finally have one at home now. Put in several goals last night to get said home win. I want to say it was like 6 or 7. No
Yeah.
memes, but I want to say it was 6 or 7 goals that the Rangers scored. Finally, Panarin finally producing, Zibanejad I think producing,
Yeah.
Lafreniere. So okay, let me actually pause here about Lafreniere because Lafreniere went off in this home game that the Rangers won. I think that he had like three or
Yeah.
four points. And Artemi Panarin was interviewed after the game, and he said something to the effect of Laugh was really hungry tonight. It's really good to see him like that. And I don't think he was trying to say like he's not normally hungry,
Yeah, but
but I don't think that he's normally quite so hungry. And I do wonder. I would love for this to maintain. To be clear, I'd love for Lafreniere to like just break out and be sick,
yeah,
honestly. But I wonder if that's going to maintain even into the Rangers' next game.
yeah,
So yeah, but I don't know, man. It's one of those things, right? Because like Mike Sullivan, everybody believed in Mike Sullivan at the start of the year. Here, I would say that a lot of
yes,
people still believe in him. The roster on
yeah,
paper makes some sense. I still think that the JT Miller captaincy is a head scratcher. Is not even the right word. I disagree with it entirely. I don't think that one makes any sense. I think if
no.
anything, you give that to Vinny Trocheck, but whatever. I'm not running the team. Um, but yeah, again, on
Or
paper, the
you could
roster
go, you
makes
could go a
sense.
year without a captain too. That's fine. A lot of teams do that.
Yes, but I think like Vincent Trocheck after Kreider getting traded, Vinny's like I think one of the like heart and soul kind of guys in the locker room. He seems to be at least from what I see with the Rangers. So, and he and
That's
JT
fair.
Miller are like best friends. So like if you wanted to appease JT Miller, and I don't really think that's what their thought process was, to be fair,
No, I
but
don't either.
you're right in line. Uh, he's not going to be upset about it. So, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to put a guy who, admittedly, obviously was on the team previously, but just joined this iteration of the team, make him the captain. Doesn't sit right with me. I don't think that's part of their problem. Just always comes to mind when I think about them. But anywho, my point here is people had faith in the Rangers before the season started. Are they back? Can the Rangers maintain, Zane? What do you think?
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't, I, yeah, I mean, I think they'll make the playoffs. I still think that they'll be, actually, I don't think I had them making the playoffs, so scratch that. I think that they'll be middling all year. I think that
Yeah.
this is who they are. I think that this is who they
Mm.
are. I think this sort of like, obviously they're not gonna maintain like they're 7-1 away and 1-6
Mm-hmm.
at home. Like that'll change. They'll get better at home. They'll get
Hopefully.
worse away from home. Um, I just think this is who they are. They aren't. They're good, and that's kind of it. I agree with you. All the things you were saying about JT Miller, I feel are true. I don't think JT Miller's your captain, honestly. Like, I don't
So
buy
weird,
it.
honestly.
You just got him like last. I mean, he played on the team before. Like, I get all that too. But yeah, they kind of. I think this is who they are. This is sort of what their season is going to look like
Mm-hmm.
for them. Um, Yeah, I guess like I just don't I haven't watched a whole lot of Rangers games. I know that the whole like joke was they didn't win at all at home in the month of
Yeah.
October. That was kind of the joke, and I like I don't know. It's hard to come back from that and still like maintain and be like confident that I don't know.
I'm
For me, the
just
Rangers are just average, and that's just who they are.
I'm just gonna say Vincent Trocek rejoins the team. They finally win on home ice. All I'm saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying. All right, last team I want to call out, and then uh, we'll see where we're at after that, I guess. But the Vancouver Canucks, man,
Oof,
500
oof,
on the nose,
oof.
5-5-1. Pardon me, 8-8-1. I don't know where five came from there. Eight
Yeah.
eight and one. The Vancouver Canucks are. Uh, it's not working. I don't know. It's again early, lots of time for things to change, but
Yeah.
Elias Pettersson still doesn't seem like super reliable from what
Yeah.
I can tell.
No.
Um, Quinn Hughes, like he's not having the Hart Trophy season that I personally was hoping for. Put a $5 bet on that before the season started. That's money gone at this point, probably at
Yeah.
least. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about the Canucks, but a team that should be contending and they're not. And I don't think that one's going to change. To be completely honest, I think they might be
Yeah.
cooked.
Yeah. That sneaky third seed not looking great for me so far. I will
Mm,
say, still time in the season.
Of course.
Um, I do think if it doesn't work for them, they gotta blow it up. They gotta send Pedersen away, send Hughes, start from scratch. It's over.
Hmm.
Like I legitimately, like that's legitimately what I think for them because they did not like for what they had for the players that they had for what they had for that like one season.
Hmm.
They didn't get a lot out of this draft class and this like scat. They like for this they didn't get a lot out of it.
Hmm.
So I think it's just time to call it a day. Like it's time. It's time to start fresh. I think they're the next team that's just gonna it'll completely. Obviously, the Flames need to as well, but they're kind of already in the process of doing that. But the Canucks, yeah, I think if they maintain this sort of way, they need to blow it up.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to go.
Yep. I think I'm with you, honestly. And for the record, I don't feel it noteworthy that the Flames are terrible. Worst team in the NHL right now, I do believe. Flames fans, if you're watching, sorry to say, I don't think that's surprising. I think last season was very surprising. This does not surprise me.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, yeah, I'm sorry for the Flames fans, man. They've had a rough.
mhm.
That trade was kind of like a harbinger.
Yeah, the Kachuk trade.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like
to
a
be fair,
harbinger.
I catch this one every now and then on Twitter. But Matthew Kachuk was never gonna sign. Johnny Gaudreau, for that
No,
matter,
yeah, I
rest in
mean they
peace,
were
was never
losing.
gonna sign.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like you had to
yeah,
do something.
I agree with
Didn't
that.
work
I mean,
out,
it's
but
not.
yeah,
It's definitely not their fault. Like,
yeah,
it's just a harbinger of like the fact that Kachuk wasn't going to sign is the harbinger.
yeah, man, yeah. Speaking of teams that need to blow it up real quick, not a whole lot to say because again, not surprising. Buffalo Sabres also really bad still. Um, I gotta wonder when they pull the plug. Honestly, I don't really see a future for Buffalo right now. I think that the dialogue for Buffalo fans usually comes back to like getting, uh, the leadership changed, the GM, maybe even the owners.
Pagula.
Yeah, the Pagulas, getting
Yeah.
them out of there too. Um, it's hard to say. Like when you're talking ownership, it's hard to make any changes there, right? Like they have to be willing to
Yeah.
sell. So. But yeah, dude, something's got to change. Nothing is working. Nothing is working. I
No,
don't
and
see
it
a
hasn't for
future.
a while, and it feels like they keep taking half measures to blowing it up. Like they keep
Yeah.
taking like half like retools instead of rebuilds, and like trying to like on the fly rebuild because they have so much young talent.
Hmm.
But then they keep like trading away the like, oh, we'll try this way, and like, no, maybe. Um, I no, none of it's worked. Their plan hasn't worked. It all started with the fact it's Lindy Ruff right behind the bench, like.
Yep.
Yeah, it says it all really. That selection of coach and then what you've decided to do with your roster construction, it just says it all. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like any effort is put in at any level. To be honest, to put together like a capable team.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's possible. Like you're talking about the Sabres, man. They had Ryan Miller, they had Palmville, they had all these players of Vanek. They were a force, man.
Can't forget Derek Roy.
Um, Derek Roy, man, absolutely. Christian Ehrhoff,
Yeah.
um,
Tyler Myers, pre Canucks.
Tyler Myers, the original place of Tyler Myers. Yeah, they gotta do. Yeah, it's brutal. I really feel for them because on it, that's a team that like you see not succeed every year, and you're not like you're genuinely like, man, that's terrible for them. That's awful. I'm desperate for them to be good again.
Same.
Desperate
Yeah, same. I feel bad for literally, I think only that fan base right now. Right now.
in the NHL. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
I
think
I'm
as
with you
far
there.
like actual like I'm sorry this is happening to you because it just does not stop, dude.
Yeah.
Several teams that I would feel bad for otherwise, Sharks included, Blackhawks included. Well,
Blue
Blackhawks fans
Jackets.
I don't tend to feel very
Yeah.
bad for, in all
Yeah.
honesty. But
I'd say yeah, both those teams, the Sabres and the Blue
yeah,
Jackets. I right now I don't feel so bad. We got Celebrini, so fans are
yes,
kind of
my
getting
point exactly. Yeah,
getting kind of, we're kind of eating. We
yeah,
haven't been eating in a while, but we also made the playoffs before that like a ton. So I mean we've been eating, right? Like there's obviously the heartbreak is we don't
historically,
have a
yeah,
ring,
yeah,
but um I could like I said Blue Jackets, Sabres, that's Maple Leafs I don't feel bad for. Again, you could tell me that they've been through pain. I don't feel bad for the Maple Leafs. Sorry. Can't you
yeah.
can't
Never, honestly. No, no offense, Leafs fans per se, but never gonna
can't
feel
find
bad
me
for that
feeling bad
franchise.
for them. Otherwise, yeah, it really is like the saddest fan base, the
The
saddest.
Sabres for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say Blue Jackets in my opinion. I don't I'm not worried about the Blue Jackets right now in all honesty. I'm sure it's
No.
frustrating to watch them as a fan of the team right now, but I think that they
Yeah.
can still turn it around for sure. Buffalo, I think it's
Yeah.
hopeless. Also, real quick, don't never gonna feel any pity for these two fan bases, but St. Louis Blues and Predators holding it down, bottom three teams in the NHL. Suck it. That's literally
Yeah.
all I have to say. Hate those
Yeah,
teams.
I mean, as we said, I mean the Blues we saw. This is an obvious for us at least. That still time to turn it around.
Are notedly
But
non-puck knowers, you and I.
yes, non-puck knowers. We were so silly.
Mhm.
No, yeah, they're Predators are just. I don't know what they after last year. I'm not sure what they expected to happen this year. If I'm being honest with you, after
Same, dude.
last year, I'm not sure what you were hoping was going to be the case. But yeah, not good. Not
Yep.
good. Not good.
I gotta say, one team that I feel very vindicated in my opinion of preseason, Nashville for sure, dude. I feel like I had that one bang on. Ducks, I wish I was a little bit more bullish on. I'd be doing victory laps left, right, and center right now. But anywho, any players surprise you before we like call it for an episode here? None come to mind for me. I just thought came to me. I
No,
figured I
nothing
might as well
right
throw it
now.
out there. Just
Yeah.
shout out to Leo Carlson, Macklin Celebrini, and Connor Bedard again. The youth in general, it extends far beyond that. Cutter Gauthier again, electric right now. Lane Hudson, electric. Matthew Schaefer, electric. Ivan Demidov, electric. Like the U24 talent in the NHL truly is remarkable right
Going
now.
crazy.
Yeah, if you see any of those guys' teams playing, turn on the game. That's all I'm saying. Turn
Yes.
on the game, dude. Maybe not as much Matthew Schaefer because they're still the Islanders after all. But you know, whenever he's on the ice, it's
Yeah,
fun.
that's still hard to watch, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But all right. Well, I think with that said, I think that about wraps it up for today. As always, folks, if you made it to this point in the video, give us a like, subscribe more than even the like at this point. Come back for more. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you soon, folks. Bye bye.